now, ladies and gentlemen, we're here with a very exciting matchup between the Dark Elves, who shall be led by the ECL champion Zyphos, facing off against the Warriors of Chaos, who shall be helmed by Dr. Jellyfish, the champion of the most recent Polish World Championship competition. So quite a bit of fun. Big match here. Let's take a look at the breakdown. So for the Elves, we do have Marathi up in the sky. Marathi, of course, not much has changed. She's still very, very strong and is very much the meta pick. She has the ability to heal with Soul Stealer, pretty good combatant as well. Obviously, she doesn't want to get into, slapping it up with SIGVALD and having a good time there, but nonetheless, she can goon other targets. Soul Stealer is pretty much the glue that holds the Dark Elves together, and Heartrender the Dark Sword in conjunction with Enchanting Beauty. So two of her abilities here. Let's go ahead and kind of zoom down and show you, flying on her mighty steed. One of them lowers melee attack by 10, and the other one is by, did that get changed recently? I could have sworn it was 9 and 9. It was a total of 18, but nonetheless, it does lower the melee attack of all nearby units by 20. So very crazy, and melee defense as well. So there she is. On top of that, we do have the Dark Riders with repeater crossbows. These guys are pretty good against Chaos. Chaos does have a fair amount of armor, but Marauder Horsemen with the javelins can sometimes outskirmish them because these guys can only shoot when they're moving forward or essentially chasing after something. However, when they're being chased, so if they're on the run by Marauder Horsemen, who are better in combat, they're not going to be able to return fire. So it's very much a positional thing with these bad boys. On top of that, we got Dread Spears backed up by a single bolt thrower, most likely a piece to try and deal with a Hell Cannon, which there is one here. The Warriors of Chaos very much in a box, and this matchup historically has been Dark Elf favored. But I think good Chaos players have kind of found some ways. In the back, we do have two Blackguard. The Blackguard, very big, very chunky. They can deal with Trolls, Spawn, pretty elite Chaos Infantry. They won't trade super well with like Chaos Warrior Great Weapons or Chosen Great Weapons, but other stuff like that, like Marauders, they're quite durable and they bring some solid anti-large to the table. So we got some Velociraptor Cold Wind Knights in the back, backed up by the Blades of the Blood Queen. So very cool elite build here by the Druki. Now, for the Warriors of Chaos, it is going to be a whole bunch of Marauder champions, or excuse me, Marauder Horsemen, I think 6 in total, including, I think, some champs in there. Let's see. Horse Masters, yes, there are a couple Horse Masters. And it is going to be a Final Transmutation caster. So looking at this build, right, this build wants you to come in and surround it in like a big, ugly kind of blob fight. So to punish that, when your opponents surround you, you come in with a Metal Caster. This guy looking a little bit worse for wear. Yeah, he looks like he's been through some tough times, but he does have the Final Transmutation. So this does a shit ton of damage. It obviously was a little bit more powerful in the patch most before this one, I believe. Yeah, and that was pretty broken. It used to be able to hit pretty much everything in the radius of its cast, even if it was just kind of barely clipped in. But now it's corrected. It's still very good, though. SIGVALD, of course, in ace. He's very tough to snipe. Dark Elves have good sniping potential. He stays the course and can win battles single-handedly if left alone. So we do have the Soul of Damnation, Chariot Marauders, forsaken to the front line with Chaos Warrior Halberds, a very defensive Chaos build. And I feel like it's very, very dependent on the Soul of Damnation. Like, I feel like if the Soul of Damnation dies, but again, Chaos has the tools to protect it with all their Marauder Horsemen, who actually are skirmishing very well here against the Druki. But Marathi's going to be dropping his Soul Stealer on top of the Marauder Horsemen, which is a good call. She's pretty beat up. Might as well get that Winds of Magic rolling. You get that heal. And the Soul of Damnation did get blasted by Marathi. She did use her activated wand ability, the Wand of Crydon, to get those sick drops there and did some good damage. But for the most part, the skirmishing does continue. Bolt throwers, of course, are designed to shoot into targets. And I have to say, it's a huge breath of fresh air coming into Total War Warhammer after playing a lot of Age lately. And, seeing artillery that just can't outrun infantry and cavalry. It is so nice to see them stationary. You have to protect them. And yeah, it's a really nice change of pace. So the Marauder Horsemen, though, getting a very dominating skirmish session here versus the Dark Riders, able to push them back. Marathi swooping in as well on her mighty Pegasus, the great Sulafesh. And she is able to push them back. And in the meantime, Chaos just getting there. Oh, is there going to be a Final Transmutation coming in? It looks like it's going to be getting dropped right here. Okay, what will be the response from the Elves? It looks like they scattered to the winds. And really good reaction time, because essentially if you move out of the radius, it doesn't do much damage. So that was a beautiful one. Honestly, that Final Transmutation, which was probably overcasted, is going to be accruing like 0 value. Great split there. Great split. Now, will the Warriors of Chaos do the same thing? Marathi's going to be coming in with a big AoE Soul Stealer, dropping the base here on these Marauder Horsemen, and tickling the pickle here of the Chaos Sorcerer. Now, it does work a little bit differently, if I'm not mistaken, in the Final Transmutation. Like, even if you leave the aura, it still hits you. So Marathi able to get the last laugh there, and I would say a pretty even game, considering the Hell Cannon is still online. But when the Hell Cannon dies to that Bolt Thrower, I really would have liked to have seen the overcasted Final Transmutation on top of the Bolt Thrower there. I think that would have been super strong. Probably would have killed it, or at least, broken a couple pieces. And the Soul of Damnation is like your breadwinner here, right? Like, without this, what is going to be killing the Blackguard and those other elite units? I mean, I suppose the Marauder Horsemen could. SIGVALD maybe could grind through them, but I don't see that being the most effective situation. So here, repeater crossbows moving up once again. Nice skirmishing from both players, but the Dark Elves are closing the distance. The Blackguard and the Blades of the Blood Queen sitting back very passively, though. Only the Haggard Spearmen are moving up, looking to maybe do some glorious battle. Both are coming in, and the Chaos Dowie DLC has been officially nuked and delayed until the far distant future. And the Soul of Damnation, the most phallic cannon here in the entire game, is going to be paying the ultimate troll toll, as it is broken by the Dark Elf sniping. That bolt are at a pretty nice little position too, like on the low ground, shooting up and over with its superior arc of fire. Now, a little bit of fast forwarding here, as the Warriors of Chaos do advance here on the Druchii host. The big Horseman Corps, pretty good on ammunition, but this is going to be a really tough fight for the Warriors of Chaos here. SIGVALD moving in, and I would imagine he'll just jump on the nearest possible target. And a lot of ammunition from the Horsemen. Most of it's going into the Dark Riders, but some is also being used into the Dread Spheres, although you can't avoid that all the time. And I think the elite Druchii infantry are ready to go fisticuffs. Really, I mean, for the Dark Elves, it's just going to come down to avoiding the big final transmutation. I believe the first one was overcasted, and it looks like Marathi jumping in on SIGVALD. That is very risky. He is very slippery indeed. Standardized slippery and heroic killing blow activated, and he spanks Marathi super hard right there. Big damage. And she's pushed back while SIGVALD is now going to be turning around and just getting to work on the Blades of the Blood Queen. But these are one of the most elite infantry units in the game. And they are massacring these Forsaken. So these haggard mutated boys not having the best time in the world despite having SIGVALD there. And Marathi's back for round 2. She's able to get the jump on SIGVALD, getting good damage that time, but she better be careful. That is a lot of damage that she took. The Dark Rider repeater crossbows, unfortunately for the Warriors of Chaos, are sitting in a pretty cozy position now, shooting into the Marauder Horsemen. And yeah, really doing quite a bit of damage. And this is like a Chaos player's worst nightmare, seeing all these like stationary armor-piercing missiles just going ham. And here comes the Soul Stealer. Okay, Plague of Rust going down? Interesting choice. I feel like the Plague of Rust might as well save for the final transmutation. Though a huge, just chunky Soul Stealer blasting these Chaos Warriors right here. It hits the Halberds, Marauders, also hits the Marauder Horsemen, as well as the Chaos Sorcerer of Metal. So beautiful, beautiful cast right there. In the meantime, Marathi jumping in on Prince SIGVALD, the pretty damn magnificent right now. Dark Elves look to be in a pretty commanding position, though. I mean, the Warriors of Chaos infantry is pretty low quality compared to the Dark Elves. Blades of the Blood Queen, Blackguard. I don't know if the Blackguard have all engaged. It looks like they have, so they're now kind of piling into the front line. And I just don't see what Chaos is going to be able to do. I mean, this really, really does feel like it's going to be one of those games where your boy Prince SIGVALD just kind of sits in there and gets circle beaten by a million units, which I'm sure he, you know, being a Slaanesh man, I'm sure he enjoys that to an extent. But for the most part, probably not the best experience for him here. So Marathi up in the sky, probably going to be leaping down, jumping on the old Chaos Sorcerer, who is not going to be able to get much protection now. I mean, there are a couple Marauder Horsemen and rallying Chaos units. Again, the only thing that I could really see happening would be an overcasted final transmutation. I mean, that could nuke all this stuff, but it would really take a lapse of micro for that to be effective, right? Because the Dark Elves do have the ability to kind of split and dodge that to an extent. So SIGVALD move it in, and yeah, he gets a nice little shield bash. Marathi does get slightly beat up there. Now, final transmutation can be targeted to a unit or to ground. With ground, of course, oh, here comes a final transmutation, maybe? And that is a basic cast, which is very, very cool. I mean, it hits 2 units, but it really doesn't do too much, right? Like, all the good shit is over here. The Blades of the Blood Queen, the Blackguard. We even saw Bolt Throwers going back there and picking off the remnants of the Chaos Host, but that looks like it's going to be it. GG, well played! And that is going to be victory for the Druchii and Zyphos. So certainly a fun battle between these two champions. Looking at Marathi rocking 69 kills, hell yeah. She knows how to live. 2,600 value here. And yeah, I mean, very, very simplistic analysis of this game. The Hell Cannon died, and there was no answer for the elite infantry. That was pretty much it. The Hell Cannon needed to live, because that would have been like, if there was no Bolt Thrower, I think Chaos might have had a good chance of winning that, because this thing could have just been pounding those elite infantry all day, right? The Soul of Damnation has twice the ammunition, if I'm not mistaken, of a standard Hell Cannon, so that would have been really strong, but at this point, it was not up to the task. Marauder Horsemen were super high value. SIGVALD did pretty good. Final transmutations were a little bit lackluster this game as well. I think that was the other variable, but it happens. You know, Zyphos has great micro, was able to dodge it, and that is that. So that is it for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. We'll be back with our daily replays going in hard here, and that is it for now. Take care of yourselves.